Hello, everyone, and welcome to this D&H TV event. I'm Chris Phillips, and we're going to be here talking about the K-12 opportunity. I've got three very special guests with me in studio. I've got Kelly Hambright. How's it going, Kelly?
Hi, how are you?
On the phone, we have Sarah Glormley, who is the Bar Field Sales Manager here at D&H. Sarah, how's it going?
Great. How are you guys?
Pretty good. And we also have Tina Kim on the line. She is their Senior Regional Account Manager here at D&H. Tina, are you with us?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
We are doing awesome here. All right, so before we get started, we're going to be talking about our K-12 opportunity here at D&H for about the next 30 minutes. If you have any questions as this conversation goes on, there is a questions window in the left-hand side. Feel free to ask as many questions as you like. We will, at some point, answer those questions. We also have a bunch of resources in the resource window that you can access to get a little bit more information on things as well, including we just also finished up a esports webinar with the high school esports league. That was last week. That is available on demand on dnh.com/dhtv. If you haven't viewed that, go ahead and take that as a view after we get done here today. But to get started, I want to talk about kind of the thing that started it all off here with K-12 at D&H, which is devices, endpoint devices, specifically Chromebooks and accessories. Kelly, Tina, Sarah, what's new in 2020? What's changing? What should our customers be focused on when it comes to endpoint devices in the K-12 opportunity?
Well, I think that really what could be hot this year really is AMD. So AMD Chromebooks, make sure that we're taking a look at them, especially with Intel shortages that we've come across. AMD has been a surefire solution for many schools.
And hey, Chris, I'm going to jump in here. I would say just a little history for the people that are on this webinar with us. We really grew up in K-12 around the Chromebook. We actually white gloved over 100,000 devices last year through our integration facilities. So that's really speaks loudly to our depth and strength around the endpoint device. I agree with Kelly completely. We need to look at what's coming, some of the delays we're seeing with Intel from the manufacturers and having readily available AMD Chromebooks and what that looks like for this coming season. We are taking aggressive stocking positions along HPI, Lenovo, Dell, Acer, Asus, but it's good to have those open discussions right now, especially with the school districts.
Is there anything specific, I know you talked about briefly with White Glove, what exactly does our White Glove services actually do in terms of a Chromebook opportunities for our customers?
So hi, Chris, this is Tina. So we are currently really doing a great job. As Sarah mentioned, we've deployed over 100,000 devices last year, and it's growing. This year we expect to at least double that amount. We are currently doing asset tagging, etching. Green shipping has really taken off. I would say it's a good 50% of our white glove service now. We are currently doing all of our white glove, asset tagging, etching, custom configuration, implementation, all of that out of Ohio and Pennsylvania today. We are looking at expanding to the West Coast later this year, so that's good news. The other thing that we added this year is automation, so status reports on all of the jobs being done. We will have that. We have that available today.
Excellent. Throughout this conversation, we're also going to be throwing up some poll questions for the viewers to answer. If you could take a moment, please answer these questions. It gives us a better insight of what you guys are seeing in the marketplace, so we can better help you as we continue to evolve our K-12 portfolio and our K-12 options for you.
Hey, Chris, I'm going to jump in here too again, real quick on just really as we dive into this season, and we're seeing some larger opportunities come across our desk right now for Chromebooks, but I would advise always looking at what, the peripherals that go around it. We are investing into print. We have Lexmark and Brother and Epson that have some great solutions in the education space that I haven't really talked about in the past. And I think we really need to open up our reseller community, our school communities, and look at what the needs are in the classroom, especially as we look at that modern classroom and what that looks like going forward.
Mm-hmm. And I also understand there's a change coming to some Chromebook licensing soon. Can someone go ahead and explain what that is?
Yeah,
yes.
we are expecting. Oh, you got
Go ahead, Kelly.
Good. March 9th, we're expecting an increase in our Google license for education and nonprofits. And this is to help cover increased costs. Okay. Sorry. And it's allowing the Google management to actually extend longer life on the Chromebooks. But March 9th is the date, and we definitely would like to. We know that this is a product that is not, it's budgeted for. So this is something that we would like for schools to be able to jump on an early opportunity to help their budgets, is to order the license before March 9th.
Awesome. So moving past Chrome and the Chrome opportunity, what areas are either new or hot for 2020 in the K-12 world? What opportunities are we seeing out there that our resellers can jump on now and kind of get a little bit ahead of the game?
So I think that ProAV is actually a very important one this year. It's definitely grown. I would like to say that we have a gentleman by the name of Jason Frigidy, who is our ProAV solution architect, who is in-house at D&H. Excuse me?
That's accurate.
Who is in-house at D&H in our Pennsylvania, our headquarters. He is amazing in the fact that, if you have a school that is deploying ProAV interactive flat panels, like in a boardroom, he has the ability to sketch that and provide right down to the inch of the architecture design, and will design that for you. So he is available at any time. I would highly recommend you reach out to him. We also have an alias, proav@dnh.com, that you can always reach out to for quotes. And then we have regional ProAV sales specialists. We have 4 of them that take care of all 4 regions. Yep. So they're accessible at any time.
We also have, to add on to that, we're always adding new sales engineers with specialties in ProAV as well. It's a key focus for us on the design and sales side, as you were saying. So we have a lot of resources internally here at D&H to help with those opportunities. Real quick before we keep moving on.
Chris,
go ahead.
I'm gonna jump in here too. Just around.
You don't even need to say you need to jump in. Just jump in.
I'm jumping in.
Jump in the pool. It's warm. The water's warm. It's fine.
I'm jumping in. Just on the ProAV digital signage, here's some things that we're seeing in the landscape coming up is really the interactive display in the classroom, as well as digital signage throughout the campus. We are seeing school districts that want an easy way to deploy messaging, whether it's something different to the gymnasium, the auditorium, the cafeteria, hallways, classrooms. We've got a great solution with airtime, and it's worth having a discussion with our ProAV team. I think that there's even hearing on the horizon that there's funding available, as cafeterias are going to have to display calorie count of the food they're serving to the kids. That's a great opportunity for digital signage.
I also want to mention that we do not only IFPs, we do have all the mounts and stands that go with that. We have all the audio, the wireless display casting, the UCC products, the power and cabling.
So we can get everything from one place. You don't have to worry about sourcing some products from one distributor and some place from another place. That's awesome. Real quick, I want to get back to the first poll we did, because I want to go ahead and push out the results to you guys so we can take a look at that. And I'm going to see if I can also pull up the results at the same time. I'm not sure if I can. I don't know where they're at. Preview window, the producer says. There we go. So we asked directly what are the top priorities for K-12 in 2020. Over 70% of you that responded are still looking at the Chrome and Windows devices, which we led with, and it's still the strongest seller for us. Security infrastructure was actually number 2, with over half the people here today interested in security infrastructure. VR and AR, which is something we haven't talked about yet, which was a hot topic going into 2019, is the furthest down on that list. Is actually the lowest on that list, with esports kind of actually being pretty close to second to lowest. So let's talk about then at this point security infrastructure. What tools or what resources does D&H have in place to help our customers with their security infrastructure solutions that they're looking for the K-12 environment?
We have a team, the D&H Solutions team, we have a whole team that is prepared to work with the schools. They will work with them through the reseller, but they can help with infrastructure. They can help with security, finding what is best for the schools and their needs, their budgets, and all of that. Security, ProAV, it sort of can go hand in hand. ProAV, the schools are using ProAV as a great way to communicate with the students when there is any type of anything that they would have to raise a bell for.
Right. It can fall into especially on the E-rate side, and we'll talk about E-rate in a moment or two. Your whole ProAV, your digital signage network can be a part of the E-rate funding because you are integrating it into the network, and you can integrate it and be that additional source for immediate information, whether there's an emergency in the school that they need to evacuate a certain way. There are signage systems out there that can make that happen. Yeah. So the security definitely falls in that play. And obviously, if we're talking about infrastructure, that's where E-rate.
That's where E-rate falls in.
That's where E-rate falls in. Not only the wireless side, the wired side, and the VoIP side. Correct. Go ahead.
I think on the security side, really, I'm seeing quite a bit in print and online around data security in schools. I think that is a hot topic. It's something that we always talk about at our K-12 advisory meetings that we do twice a year. Is really how do we help arm the schools with the tools and the software that they need to secure the data of the students. And we've got some great resources internally that we can bring to the table to help around security. Infrastructure, again, we can help with everything from broadband or connectivity into the school through our cloud platform, as well as, Wi-Fi 6 is on our radar, what that's going to look like in the next 12 months, as far as how that could help in the larger populated, dense areas of schools, auditoriums, gymnasiums, large classrooms. So we definitely have our eye on that, on places that have resources lined up to support.
Awesome. We during our last webcast with Cisco Duo, we talked a lot about security and how the weakest point of every security is the actual people that are using the network. In a K-12 environment, that's the students. Right. I foresee down the road that student education in terms of network security is actually going to become a part of the K-12 curriculum. So, because that's your biggest vulnerability is the students that are coming in and using it every single day. So training those students of how to keep themselves safe when using the network, not only to keep their personal data they're safe, but also make sure the school's data stays there, is another place where a very talented VAR can go in there and go, hey, we can also help train your faculty to then go ahead and train your students how to assist with those needs as well. So there's always opportunities there.
The hackers are getting smarter and smarter. I saw just this morning an article about a phishing attack where it looked like it came from the principal wanting W-2s of all the employees. Yep. And they're up to 10,000 attacks a day on the school district, or potential attacks on the school district. So it's definitely it's a hot topic. It's one we talk about often as a team, and with our resellers, and really wanting to dive in there, especially in the mid-sized, smaller school districts. We can, we work with a lot of resellers for cards. We have resources around being able to.
Awesome. We just pushed out another poll question real quick. What percentage of your K-12 clients are asking about esports? I think that's a good transition to actually go ahead and talk about esports because that is one of the larger areas that we see, even though at this point our customers are saying, hey, we're not focused on it right now. It is something that we see as something that's up and coming. What resources and what tools do we have to help our customers with the new esports opportunities that are coming up there?
I would like to talk about just that really what we're seeing in school districts. And I meet with resellers every week, and they are being asked about gaming and gaming devices to put into the K-12. We have partnered with HSEL, which is a high school sports esports league. I really feel like we've got quality with our partnership. They've got curriculum and data to support just the positive impact of gaming. Really diving into inclusivity into the schools and driving up attendance rates, grade point averages, not to mention there's college scholarship out there. So what do we have to support? I would tell you we've got, the full line card of vendors up to the furniture that we can help create solutions into, whether it's the interactive displays, the displays. I know the more sophisticated some of these gaming leagues are, they want multiple keyboards, different kinds of mice. We have some really strong relationships. I would tell you we have a solid line card in the gaming arena and resources to help put together solutions.
For those,
I want to mention one thing. I want to mention one thing with that, Sarah, with the extensive line card that we have. I think it's really important to mention, especially in esports, the customization with the manufacturers that we're working with. So today we are working with MSI and ASUS who have customization capabilities. So if you want something customized, especially when it comes to gaming, they want the best video cards, the memory, and whatnot. You can custom order a PC through us.
For those who weren't actually here for the presentation we had last week, can one of you explain what exactly the HSEL is and what we have and how D&H has an exclusive partnership and what with that organization and what that means for our customers?
Yes. So we went out and looked at a couple of these high school sports gaming leagues that are out there in the market, and really vetted out HSEL. Jason Kirby is the CEO of the company. They've just put a solid league together, and it allows schools to compete nationally against each other in these tournaments. They happen 3 times a year that they can opt in to play in these tournaments. They promote healthy gaming. There's guidelines, rules, and an environment where the kids can actually thrive, and it gives them quite a few options around games that they can play. More than the other leagues that we looked at, and it's they're committed to helping our kids use this as an outlet. Maybe you have kids in the school that aren't athletic or they're not engaged, that they can have an opportunity to be with other kids.
Mm-hmm. And from what I understand, go ahead.
I'd like to mention one more thing. So the website is highschoolsportsleague.com. And it's very important when you go onto their website. I think there's a really nice map on their site, and if you click on the map, depending on what region you can see what schools they've already been engaged with. So I'd highly recommend you guys go on there and check it out and approach the schools.
Additionally, too, I want to bring up a point, Chris, too, that we will have a esports playbook out in the next couple of weeks that's reseller facing in a digital format that really talks about the opportunity, how to talk to the schools, how to present it to the schools. It'll have data to support why it would be good to create an esports league in high school or in K-12 arenas.
Yeah. A lot of people still have the misconception that it's just kids that want to play video games in school, but it's actually a larger curriculum than that. It's a combination of having your student athletes that are playing with students that are actually providing the technical resources to support the devices they're using. You have students that are providing marketing or just managerial support. It's a entire curriculum that playbook will help our customers kind of spell out for our resellers and really kind of help that sale along, because I think that's probably one of the larger barriers to entry is just kind of getting past that it's people are playing video games in school.
Right.
Well, and I think the question that we hear from resellers is that, okay, schools are asking me whether it's about the HPI element or gaming systems or how, different, they're coming to us asking the questions around gaming, but really what is the opportunity? How do I sell it? And what kind of margin is in it? Can I provide a soup to nuts type of solution? And absolutely, the systems are much more expensive than Chromebooks, higher rate of refresh, and we can support it from system to accessories to furniture for some of these places that are actually building out dedicated space for gaming.
Really interesting results. We asked our customers what percentage of them have K-12 clients that are asking about esports. 83% said 0 to 25% of their clients, their K-12 schools, are asking about esports. So if they're not asking you, you need to be asking them. That's what this comes down to. If you can start that relationship, then it gives you a leg up over everybody else. So this would be a huge opportunity that you can seize on, especially if they're not asking you. Go out there and get that business, ask them. Agreed?
Agree.
And I think for the resellers that are on our West Coast, March 20, Tina, correct me if I'm wrong, March 25th, 26th.
March 26th.
That's right. Be at City of Industry, and we're actually going to have a interactive, immersive playground that will be demonstrating and have the solutions out around esports. So for those of you that are on our West Coast, invites should be out to attend. I think it'd be a great way to come in and talk to not only our specialists around esports, but vendors as well.
Awesome. Two other topics I want to touch on real quick here. STEM and STEAM and AR, VR. Let's talk a little bit about those opportunities. How has AR, VR changed any of this coming this year? What devices are out there? And a little bit about STEM and STEAM and what we have available for that as well.
I definitely think AR, VR, and STEM, STEAM all underlies immersive learning. I think we can look at it, whether a school is creating a separate area or it's part of the curriculum in the classroom, everything from Google Expeditions to I've seen some of the more sophisticated and complexities around building out an area where they can map weather and predict if a hurricane will hit Miami, and really giving the students hands-on. And in that, when we look at the products that fill that set of solutions, it's everything from systems to displays to monitors to different components that we can bring to the table around it. We definitely, AR, VR, it was, a buzzword. I would tell you 18, 24 months ago. We're seeing growth. We're seeing adoption. We're seeing it, in lead in, seeing STEM, STEAM, and flying as well.
Awesome. We do have some questions I want to go ahead and get through, because those of you who have been here with us, you're asking some great questions, and I want to get to those right now. Patrick was specifically asking, and I think this goes back to the Chrome license price increase. How long before they buy the devices can they buy the licensing? So I think what he's asking, can they buy the licensing now if they know the devices are coming later to get that?
They just, the school has to have a domain name. So you're buying them and they're going basically in a locker and they're going to hold those licenses until you basically register them to a Chromebook. So you can buy them ahead of time and they stay in there until they're used.
Awesome. Michael's asking if we're anticipating a stock shortage due to the situation that is happening in China for the Chrome devices. We talked a little bit about how AMD is a great opportunity specifically because there's a shortage on Intel. Are we expecting devices in general to be short this year?
Kelly, take the question. I'll augment you. Go ahead.
I think it's a little soon to really go and make an assumption yet. We're hearing about everything coming out of China. Basically, let's hold tight. Let's use what we have in the channel. Let's be prepared. But it's too soon to tell. And the Intel, we already know that the Intel has been challenging. So that's why we want to encourage everyone to be looking at AMDs. And there are other options out there besides the AMDs and the Intel as well.
And I would tell you, we've taken some aggressive stocking positions on smart buys and top seller SKUs and Chrome. I've seen some pretty big numbers floating around internally on our stocking positions around Chrome. So not going to say it's perfect and it's not going to, might get bumpy down the road, but we're being as proactive as we can to anticipate.
Jason has a great question, and this goes back to asking about the esports opportunity. Who do you begin with to have the conversation within a school district about esports? Typically who is the person that is managing that program within a K-12 district? I think that's a great question.
It's a great question. So we've seen it running the gamut, depending on the size of the school district, anything from the superintendent to the IT director. We've seen champions within the school, whether it's the technology teacher, that they've championed it and kind of did a grassroots effort. We've seen it across the board. In the playbook that we're putting out, we'll give you different ways to how to approach and target each one of those. Definitely the superintendent or IT director about the opportunity and some data points behind it on why they would want to do it. And I think that's the biggest thing we can help with our research.
Yeah, Sarah, I'm also seeing it within the STEM and STEAM directors as well. So if there's a STEM and STEAM person over at the school, I think I'm definitely seeing it there only because it fits in that category. If they're building the PCs and getting the components and building an esports, it fits in that criteria.
Get in front of the stakeholders and kind of giving them the right presentation is going to be absolutely key to kind of getting your foot in the door and making sure that you're a part of any school's new esports opportunity. Next question is, how do you get started in the K-12 market for companies who are trying to get into education but are not yet? Where do they go? Who do they start talking to in general to try and get a hold of some of these opportunities?
My recommendation first is relationship. So build a relationship with the schools. The second would be there's many resellers out there that work through the quoting process. That most of the time the schools have their bids out there for anyone to bid on. But relationship with DISTI, relationship with school is definitely the two top.
I would also say too, also look for, usually every state has some type of educational conference with IT directors, those folks. It's Ohio just had their OTEC conference, which is all the Ohio technology. Definitely look to your vendors, right? If you're working with HPI, Dell, Lenovo, Cisco, talk to them about who's got responsibility in your area for education and leverage those relationships as well.
Excellent. Before we wrap up here, if any of our customers have questions or comments or need to find someone to talk to here at D&H, who do they contact? Who do they reach out to get more information?
We actually have a alias set up that's the K-12 services at dnh.com. If you would send over your opportunities questions to that, you can CC your sales rep in, and we will be sure to get back to you with quickly and the best information that we can find for you.
Awesome. Sarah, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Just that we appreciate the business that our resellers bring to us. We don't take it for granted, and we work hard to support you. We feel that there's a great opportunity. We've enjoyed double-digit growth year over year in the K-12 space, really putting the roots into programs and services to support you, looking for feedback on ways we can show up as a distributor to help with gaps in this market, and open to feedback. And thank you for the business that we do get.
We also have a direct mailer that'll be sent out to all of our education resellers. That should be coming the end of March. And then we also have the K-12 newsletter that'll be coming out end of February.
Great. Tina, anything to add?
I'm good.
You're good. Are you good?
I think Sarah and Kelly covered it mostly.
It's hard. I should have thrown to you first, because you just can't follow Sarah. She's just so good at what she does.
Sarah's on top.
Exactly. She took the words right out of my mouth.
That was my fault. I apologize. That's my fault. We should have given you all the good stuff, Tina, and made Sarah's life a little bit harder. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. This will be available on demand within the next 24 hours. If you missed any part of it, it'll be at dnh.com/DNHTV or DHTV. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to us, K12services@dnh.com. We do have 2 upcoming live broadcasts that do pertain to a lot of the things we talked about today, specifically ProAV. We'll be having a ProAV and collaboration conversation on the 27th of this month. That is at 2 p.m. Next month, we'll be having a Solutions Lab webcast with Airtame taking control of your devices. I'll be hosting that one with Jason Frigidy as well. We'll be going over Airtame 2 and how their new cloud platform can help you manage all your displays no matter what manufacturer they're from. But with that, thank you for joining me, Kelly. Thank you for joining us, Tina and Sarah on the phone. And thank you, all of us, for joining us here today. Have a good one.
Thank you.